Hey everybody, so today we are going to be doing another Bible study lesson on building healthy relationships within Christ. And today's Bible study will be on breaking down walls in our lives. Last time we did being unequally yoked within Christ. And so what I'm going to need you to do is read Joshua chapter 6 verses 1 through 20. And as we know, this is an interactive Bible study lesson. So as I carry on and do the lesson, there will be breaks and stops within there where questions will pop up on the screen. And take the time to answer the questions, meditate on them, and reevaluate within yourself things that you might want to change within you. This is to help you think about things that you may do in your life so that we can promote change to renew yourself because life is a growing process and we always want to be growing because we don't want to be stuck in the same place. So I thank you guys for tuning in and God bless. Okay, you guys. So I hope you guys read, and so now here I am, have my Bible in Joshua 6. So basically, what had happened is that the children of Israel were basically told to go and march around the wall of Jericho. Now, when you're talking about breaking down walls in life, here is this wall that is built to keep people out. And in our lives, um, we build up walls to keep people out. We don't want certain people to come into our lives and destroy and break down what we've tried and so hard to build up and keep together. So when you look at verse 1 in chapter 6, it says, Now Jericho was securely shut up because the children of Israel, none went out and none came in. If you look in previous chapters in Joshua, basically this is what happened. There had been some spies that were sent to spy out the land, to see what was going on inside the city of Jericho, and they got word of this in the city of Jericho. So they shut everything up and close everything so nothing could get in. And that's just like our lives. Because of previous intruders that have came in our lives and stirred up a commotion in our lives, we tend to build up walls. And just like it said here, it says that none went out and none came in. We can build up walls so much that we won't let anyone into our lives and we won't let anything come out of our lives. We're basically putting up a roadblock. So when we look at um, this, it's like we are so afraid of destruction that may come if we allow people to come into our lives. I know that for me, I've done it several times because I just get so scared. I mean, it comes with a lot of fear. And as you see, these people had fear. Now, with walls, what we need to do is I once read this story and it was talking about this man and one day he just chiseled away at his wall and he was just chiseling away at the wall and underneath the wall was a beautiful fireplace and sometimes what we need to do is chisel away at that wall and because if you don't you could be missing something that's very beautiful because we're constantly keeping this wall up to keep other people out and we can miss out on a lot of things which can be dangerous to ourselves. I've learned from actually a friend had me and them had been talking and they said, well, if you live your life in fear and you don't let people in, sometimes it can be more damaging than you not just being who you are and letting your walls down. So I want to post the next question for you guys, and I hope you guys got something out of that. All right, thank you guys. All right, so here we are in the next section, breaking down uh, 6. verse chapter 6, 8 through 14, when it talks about basically faith, because God had given the children of Israel these instructions to march around the wall of Jericho, and they had no clue what they were doing. They were just acting out of faith, and sometimes faith can make you look all types of crazy. But I mean, if it's for God, then do what God has instructed you to do. We know Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of the things not seen." We must have faith to achieve anything we want to achieve, not knowing what tomorrow holds or what the outcome may be, but hoping in the best. Now, when you look in First Corinthians, they talk about this in First Corinthians 13:7 says, "Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things." Love hopes in all things. So, because of their love for God, they hoped the best and they acted out of faith, not knowing what tomorrow may hold, but they just knew out of their love for God that He would come through, like He said. Um, and love, there's no fear. So when you're talking about breaking down your walls, like a lot of the reasons why we have these walls is because of fear. And but in 1 John 4:18 it says, "There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. But he who fears has not been made perfect in love." When it comes to building healthy relationships and knocking down walls and getting over fear, you must replace it with faith. Not to be scared, when you look at like different stories in the Bible, such as Peter when he walked out on the water. In the beginning, when he first stepped out, all he needed to know was it was God telling him, step out on faith. And that's what he did. But then he got fearful and he fell. So, what we need to do is stay in faith and keep looking at Christ. No matter how crazy your faith may look to other people, it doesn't matter. Keep your eye on God. Um, so, that's what they did. Um, The Bible says in James 2:17, "Even so faith, if hath not works, is dead, being alone." Basically, these people, they marched around the wall and they marched and marched. And their marching was their faith. So when you start knocking down your wall, basically, you're chipping away at your wall. You are working and you're working. That's your works. So you're having faith that if you chip away your wall, that you can better yourself. You're not chipping away your wall to hurt yourself, but you're chipping away your wall so that you can get other places in life, so you can let people in, no matter what it is that you have walls up for. But, just put your faith into action and you will not go wrong. All right. So here's the next question. All right, y'all. So obviously it is not the same day because I've actually changed my clothes, as you can see. Um, but we are going to continue on verses 6 in Joshua 15 through 21. So basically, God had told them to march around the wall, and on the, seventh day, blow their trumpets. And so when, then the walls came tumbling down. Now, when your walls come tumbling down, rejoice, be glad, be happy. But as we see in verse 18, you, by all means, abstain from the obscured things. Abstain means keep away from. Do not tear your walls down and go back to things that will cause you damage that you just got rid of.
Um, it talks about how they were to get rid of everything behind these walls. So, all that was within you and that is damaged, let it go. Throw it all away behind your walls because what is behind once you chipped away at your wall, it's supposed to be beautiful. So don't go back to the same things and don't um hold on to certain things like, because when you do, you it's kind of like you leave a crack in the door for other things to come in. For instance, me and music. I mean, I used to love me some music. Now, I still love music, but my taste in music has just changed. Now, music was my influence back in the day. Now, if I go back to listen to the old music that I used to listen to, it will leave a crack in the door for other things to come into my life. And those that which will cause my walls to go back up. So there are certain things in our lives that we must avoid from doing so that we don't cause damage to ourselves once we have torn down these walls in our lives. Um, so it's good because we're conquering this place of fear and taking it and just saying, look, all this is going in the trash and I'm ready for change. Now, um, there will be a great feeling of freedom that will take over you because you have overcome this large obstacle in your life, okay? Now, you may not do it alone because there's always others in your life that can help you break down walls. I know actually doing this Bible study, I was actually talking to one of my friends on the phone. And every time I would talk to them, my Bible study would just continue to break down. And they were really, as I do my Bible study, I have to break down my walls within myself because when I help myself, I'm more able to help you guys. And so now, when you look at Rahab in the story, Rahab was the inside. She was a prostitute, but she was inside, and God knew her heart and knew that even though she was this woman with this status, he could still use her to help these people. And so, my friend, he was able to help me um, break down my walls in my life. Now, there may be someone in your life who's able to help you break down these walls, like a trusted friend. Um, so the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 4 9 through 12, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will help up his companion. But woe to him who was alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Again, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Though one may be overpowered by another, two can withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So both of the parties were able to help each other out. One was on the inside and the other party was on the outside. And basically, they were able to help each other. And then there's like a threefold cord is not easily broken. So, um, who they had was God, and one was on the inside, one was on the outside, and then God was helping them all together. So, um, I'm gonna have a question for you guys. All right, you guys. So I'm just hoping that you guys enjoyed this Bible study and that you do learn something from it about breaking down walls in your lives. Like I did say, I recommend doing this with a friend. When you look at having someone on the inside and someone having on the outside, basically you are the inside um, person. You have those walls built up, and the person on the outside who is helping you, if you had a friend helping you, it's easier for people on the outside looking in to see stuff in your life. I had a friend conversation with another friend in my life actually, and we were talking about some experiences that we had in life, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I knew that about you, because I, as a friend, could see better inside their lives than they could, because sometimes it's easier for us to see things um, on the outside than when we're on the inside. And so I recommend doing this with a friend. It's kind of like the heart and the rib cage. Um, you know, this is your heart, and your friend could be your rib cage, and your friend is there to make sure that whenever the blows come, that he's there to protect you. So make sure you're with a trusted friend to be able to help you in this process of breaking down your walls, so it could be much easier. Someone trusted that knows you very well, not someone who is just going to help you break down your walls and then cause more damage to you. So I thank you guys and I love you guys so much. Hope you guys tune in again and have a blessed week. Okay? God bless you guys.